All right, we're ready. The chat is fired up. Yes, we're a little bit late. We're trying to get our thoughts together. This is the 110 Football Instant Reaction Post-Game. We have just watched LAFC drop its first home match of the season. 2-1 against Austin, but there's a lot to talk about, a lot going on in that match, and so we're going to take you through all of it. I am Vince Rosa, and with me, of course, is my great panel once again, Scarf, Philly,
hello,
Jessica Black. We're here to take you through it, and we got some fans. Hey, guys. What's up?
Hi, fans.
So we're going to take you guys through it. We got the chat, we've got these guys, and we've got these guys. We got a lot going on here. But if you're new here, we take you through our feelings. We do a little stock up. We do some stock down. We have some things to sleep on. We talk about if we were good, if we had good calls in our post game of what we thought LAFC should do well.
I did not.
Let's start with our feelings, which is what took us so long here because we were sorting it all out. We were sorting our feelings. For you guys back there, we have 3 emojis.
I only need one.
There's a sideways face guy, there's a garbage can, and then there's Chicho's celebration. I'm going to go ahead and throw out Chicho's celebration because I don't think you guys are going to go use that.
Yep.
But on the count of 3, Jessica's ahead of me. On the count of 3, hold up the emoji that you would like to use. 1, 2, 3.
You'd be out of your mind if you raised... Wait a minute.
You and I are doom and gloom.
All right,
bud.
well, obviously we're doom and gloom, and we're usually the glass half full kind of guys. I mean, if there was a word that would sum up how we played the first half, would be basura. That's how I would reflect on the first 45. We finally got a little bit of energy later on in the game, but this is a team that's been starting off slow all season long. And you know what? They might have made it exciting in the last few minutes of the game, but we can't play against good teams with our backs against the wall because we're going to have a really, really rough season going forward if that's how we continue to play.
Okay, what if I said to you that other than Brad Stuver having some great saves in the first half, we probably would have gotten into the first half, maybe up 2-1.
Yeah.
And then in the second half, he was even better, although he wasn't able to save the penalty. Does that change your garbage to the meh that Jess and I had at all?
I think what you're doing is lowering the bar for the standards for LAFC.
No, I still think we could talk about how poor they were.
But I
do think that I don't think Austin was exceptional.
Austin did what they needed to do to get back on the bus with at least a point. I think that kick save by Brad Stuver was by far the play of the match. I think that he was the best player on the pitch, even though he wasn't wearing Verde. He was wearing the blue. But I just think we need to create more opportunities. We need to do more, even if we have less out on the pitch like we did today.
But so that gets you garbage.
Yeah.
Okay, Jessica, you had the same kind of meh.
Yeah, I had the meh face. For me, it's like we created more than enough chances to have at least 2 or even maybe 3 goals. So I think there was a middle part of the game where there wasn't much going on, but we were kind of controlling it. They came down 2 times and scored 2 goals, which is not great. But for me, Colorado was more of the trash game because we didn't create anything in that game. We were abysmal. And then the referees were also bad. In this one, it was more like if the goalkeeper's not, having a excellent game, it's probably something a little bit different. So I just view it that way, even though I am disappointed.
Yeah, he had a bit of a blinder. And let's not forget that the first goal that Austin scored was just kind of like, yes, you got a second phase. Cheeky's got to clear that. You don't take chances there. Bad turnover. But they just kind of lucked into that. The guy had a great touch off of what was a shot, not a pass to him.
Right.
I don't think I'm swaying you guys at all, but I'm just saying.
When you think your club is the class of the league like we all do here, and you come out at home in a game that this is MLS After Dark. Everybody is watching this game nationally. Your coach, Steve Cherundolo, has to get you started quicker than you already are. And you come out and you do the same things that you've done for the entire season. To me, it's pretty disappointing when you finally do it here at home.
No, I mean, it really is. I mean, we all came in here extremely optimistic, thinking that LAFC would absolutely stick it to FC Broccoli. And look, hats off to them. They played a really, really good game. They came into tonight on a 2-game losing streak. But if you break it down, the key element was the fact that Brad Stuver didn't start. He sustained a knee laceration against the Dynamo on April the 30th. And as a result of that, they lost to the Galaxy, then 1-0. Then they lost to Real Salt Lake 2-1. But he comes into today, proving that he really is one of the most solid goalkeepers in the Western Conference. But one way or another, LAFC could have converted on their opportunities. The first 45 minutes, they played flat. Kellen Acosta, bad turnover that led to that first goal off of the set piece. I mean, very uninspiring game, especially considering the fact that we played within a place that we consider our fortress, Banc of California Stadium. Austin does not win on the road. They win at home. They embarrassed us today at home.
I mean, do we have to have maybe a small conversation around our depth? And do we think that the quality is the same? Because we had a lot of guys out there that weren't actually starters. When Brian Rodriguez and Fall came on, we started to look like ourselves again.
Yep.
So for me, it's kind of like maybe we need to also lower the expectations a little bit of the guys that are coming in. We went really big on LAFC's depth is amazing, but not only has it kind of dissipated, but maybe the quality isn't actually what we thought it was.
The depth is definitely obviously dissipated because of the injuries. What I would say to you is, no matter what, there was going to be some kind of rotation in this month, right?
Yeah.
There's so many games in such a short period. So are we putting this on the 11 per se, or you're saying more so just the quality of people that came in, they just weren't reliable?
I just think we looked a little bit disjointed. I think that can happen when you have guys out there that don't usually play together. You have Masovsky up there. As soon as Brian Rodriguez came out there and Vela started clicking, you could tell that there was just something missing. The midfield has been rotated. Take Kellen Acosta out of it, it's completely different. So I just think that, you have to take that into consideration. Sometimes when you switch things around, you don't have continuity. And that's something that we had early on in the season that we talked about, same 11. Now that it's kind of broken down, not getting the same results, now we think that we played poorly. We created enough chances in that game to at least walk away from a point. And I do think if we get the penalty and Carlos Vela buries it, I don't think we have the same perspective.
You're not wrong. We would escape out of here with a tie, but still, we had so many opportunities. Talking about your point. I mean, you asked me earlier on during the pregame show how I felt about Kellen Acosta playing in the back line. He looked lost today. I mean, that pass he had, he tracked back to prevent Urruti from doing his thing. A terrible pass, trying to connect with Maxime Crepeau. That goes out for a corner kick, and off that set piece, you have somebody who doesn't score often for Austin, Gabrielson, putting it in the back of the net. I mean, Kellen Acosta did not look good. Several turnovers, got himself in situations where he turns the ball over, gets himself a yellow card. I mean, he looked lost out there. It goes to show you that the injury bug has sincerely smacked our back line in the face, because Kellen is good when he's in the middle. When he's in the back line thus far, from what I've seen, he's my stock down.
Get in there. You had
We're getting there already. No, my thing was exactly what he was going to say about Kellen Acosta. You have our third string right back, who we didn't even know was our third string right back coming in the season. You have Sebastian Abiaga, who is literally our third or fourth string center back. And you have Mamadou Fall, who's your starting center back, subbing on, late in the match. I think that LAFC's depth has been tested up until this match. It was exposed this match with a team the quality of Austin FC. And look, it's hard to place blame anywhere other than what we have all mentioned, the injury bug and just needing to get healthy. I mean, how many practices, you've been out there at practice, how many practices has Kellen Acosta had at right back?
Not a ton.
Right. Oh, there you go.
Right.
I mean, there you go.
And so it's hard to fault him, right, when he's being thrust into a position like that.
But is it just moving people?
You're talking about me, not the union, right?
Is it something?
Love you, Brad.
I just still feel like, despite we want to hammer injuries, we want to hammer depth, I just feel like there would have been rotation anyways, and I did not see a cohesive team at all. I think there's something deeper lying that we're not quite seeing, we're not figuring out. I'm sure Steve Trundolo and his coaching staff are kind of looking at it, but I'm looking at a team that no matter what they roll out there, the midfield, even when Ilie Sanchez is out there, it's just not connecting the team from defense to forwards. In that first half, we only created chances off our press and mistakes from them.
Let's be honest. We've all, behind the scenes, been talking about that since game one, how the three lines just don't seem to be connecting. What we see now, after 2 straight losses and a couple of matches where we haven't played up to our potential, we're starting to see that expose itself more and more.
You know, the best thing that really happened to LAFC tonight is, if you watched the highlights of the FC Dallas Vancouver game, sincerely, the best thing that happened to LAFC was Lucas Cavallini, because Austin wins today. If FC Dallas would have tied or beaten Vancouver, then Austin would have surpassed us. But Vancouver did the unthinkable thanks to Lucas Cavallini later on in the game, injury time PK. He sort of saved us from really losing a lot of ground. If we're looking at another team, thanking them for us being in the position that we're in, that's not really good. And again, Austin is a team that's only won 2 games on the road this season. 4 games at home. They won a total of 9 games last season. They've already won 7 thus far. I thought they would really start to fall off their cylinder, but I guess Austin really is a team that we need to be wary about. Josh Wolf got himself that contract extension. He deserves it. Fagundes, a great player. They outplayed us, but sincerely, the MVP of the game, Brad Stuver. Without a doubt, he's their MVP.
Well, I mean, if your goalkeeper is like man of the match, your best player, then you weren't actually that good, were you? If your goalkeeper is your best player, I really think it's a lot more even than people like that. I think it was more even. I really do. I don't think we got outplayed. They came down twice and scored 2 goals. We had 18 shots. They had like 2 on target. We had 9 on target.
Fair enough, but it's the same story year in and year out. LAFC maintains possession. LAFC has the lion's share of shots. LAFC has the lion's shares of shots on target. If they can't convert, we're talking philosophy here.
Do you think that the bigger issue is that teams are only getting a couple of chances against us and being able to finish those, and we're not able to finish the myriad of chances that we have?
Yeah.
Finishing is a problem, and I'm going to move us along because I think someone's going to bring that up in one of our other segments. Yeah. If not you guys, it will be me. So let's move us along. We do something here. We do stock up, stock down. Let's go stock up first, and I want you guys in the crowd, if anybody has a stock up or stock down, start thinking of it now because I'm going to bring someone over here to tell me their stock up or stock down. So I'm going to start with, who wants to start with a stock up? We're trying to be positive first.
I'll go first. My stock up is Latif Blessing, and I'll tell you why. He became the all-time minutes leader in black and gold during this match. And I think, moreover, what LAFC
moral victory
has, yes, but I think this is the time where we can take a second, step back, and highlight what LAFC what Latif Blessing.
Stock up to that young man that just gave Jessica Black
that's the stock up right there. That's the stock up. Jessica Black gets a bouquet of flowers. That is the stock up.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't want to step on it, but it was just so sweet of that.
That's a tough challenge there.
That was more fun to watch than most of the game for me. But either way, what Latif Blessing has meant over the first 5 years of this club, what he means to the 22,000 that fill Banc of California Stadium, to the millions
and millions.
There you go. Who support this club. Latif Blessing is the heart and soul. Carlos Vela is the face. We've had many players come and be the hammer, but Latif Blessing is the heart and soul of this club. And kudos to Latif, the all-time minutes leader in black and gold. So sad to see him in a boot later on in the match today as well.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to go with mine real quick because I think it's going to stir some things because we already saw it in the chat a little bit. I'm going to go Pancho Ginella. Because I thought that Pancho Ginella in the second half actually had a very good second half and did the things that I would have wished he had done other times he had been subbed into matches. He actually righted the ship a little bit. I think Steve changed the shape and allowed Sifu to be a little bit farther forward and said, Pancho, I need you to go in there. I need you to be right next to Ilie Sanchez because right now they're killing us on second balls. Fagundes was dropping off the line and they were getting in and around Ilie and just playing little triangles around him. I think Pancho, 1, righted the ship there, and then 2, did play very good passes forward and was driving the team forward as much as he could. Maybe, again, remember when we do stock up, it could be that they came from somewhere lower and just did a little bit better. So maybe that's what it is. But for me, I think if you really sit down and watch that game and watch what Pancho Ginella did, that was a very good performance from central midfield in a weird game.
Yeah. And he helps Carlos earn the PK, by the way. On that play, you watch, he's the pass to Carlos. Carlos gets taken down, PK. So a lot of people in the chat, you might be a little wrong about.
I mean, you got to see what he's good at. You know, at some points, like players are playing in positions that don't really suit them. He's not really like a destroyer type. He's not really a box to box. He's a deep line playmaker. That's very clear. He can ping a ball under limited pressure very well. I think he starts to get stressed out when the game is more box to box and it gets more stretched and he has to run a little bit more. But in a game where we had a lot of possession, all he had to do was just kind of stand there and dictate play, almost like a quarterback, you know, for a football team. So for me, I thought he had a really good half. I do agree it probably has something to do with him coming from a lower point, but ultimately I think he was pretty good.
He didn't light the world on fire, but he definitely he definitely provided some balance, and he was very good at sending that ball and getting some depth in the attack and getting attackers in behind the defense. Okay, Yeah, have you guys thought more about your stock up, stock down? You guys probably have more stocks down than stock up, huh?
Oh.
You got stock up? Come on.
You based on his hat, Chris over here needs to have a stock. Whoa.
right.
Whoa, hop
You
along
sit
Lafferty
in my
here.
chair.
And you know what? Look at his scarf.
What's happening, my man?
We got to
you're on deck.
guess stock up. What's your name?
got the same shoes.
Hey,
Oh,
great
there you
minds
go.
think alike.
What's your name?
Milan.
Milan. Okay, Milan, what was your stock up? This is your camera right here.
My stock up was Brian Rodriguez. After coming off an injury like that and then playing amazing performance, I got to be Brian Rodriguez.
Okay. Do you want to see Brian start the next match? Do you feel like his performance here means that he needs to be starting the next match?
I think he can go off the bench one more time against, we're playing Columbus next. I think he could play on the bench against Columbus, and then against San Jose, I'm not sure that he could start.
You're like a future manager.
I think I just lost my spot.
Well, thank you, Milan. You're good, bro.
Not only that, Milan's part of the Brian Rodriguez fan club. I thought I was the only one. So kudos to my guy.
do you want Brian
Do you want to
song
piggyback off of him?
No,
any points on that?
my piggyback is I agree. Milan was 100% right. I think he comes off the bench one more time, and then against San Jose, he shows what he's got. We'll see what happens.
Okay, so we got Latif. I said Poncho. Milan's got Brian Rodriguez. Jess, Philly, stock up.
Chicho, put Chicho in there.
Actually, Carlos Vela was a stock up for me.
I like it. Carlos Vela, you're stuck
So
up.
I think we were tiptoeing around it for the last couple of games. Nobody wants to go in on Carlos Vela because he's the guy, right?
I
But
did.
You did. But he hasn't been at his best. But today, you kind of saw that old Carlos Vela come back. He earned the penalty. Like he looked like himself. I thought today he had more energy. He was getting stuck in. At one point, he got back and he was tracking back. For me, I think we found Carlos Vela again, which is really good going into a difficult part of the season. We kind of need him. So yeah, I thought Carlos Vela. It's like his stock really can't go much more up, but
And Jess, Freddie Dominguez, stock up Vela. Today was the most motivated I've seen him in a while.
Yeah,
Freddie agrees with you.
yeah.
Philly?
Do you agree?
You really want me You really want me to put on my cynical New Yorker hat
We
right
pay
now?
you for takes, bro.
Come on. Let's hear it.
I mean, look, I don't have a positive stock up. I don't.
Really?
If there's anybody that's won in this game in terms of a stock up, it's the freaking injury bug because it claimed Latif Blessing this evening. The injury bug
stock up.
seems to be the
not a real thing.
continuous winner with LAFC thus far this season. Look at how many players we have lost due to some kind of injury. Ryan Hollingshead last week. We saw Latif Blessing in a boot today. We saw so many of our guys go down. And yes, while it is next man up, it's really hard to maintain any kind of consistency when you have a player that is important and crucial to your club going down each and every week. Daniil Henry, Franco Escobar, Latif Blessing. I mean, the list goes on. And we have another very world-class famous defender potentially in the horizon that is also prone to the injury bug. So if there's anybody that's winning along the line of the roster of LAFC, I know I might have offended Luis LaRosa and J.R. Lieber over here,
that man.
but it's my cynical New Yorker hat coming in right now. The injury bug is taking down our team. That is who is winning thus far.
All right, cool. So
Thickety Wicked
Love the
says,
optimism.
please sign Milan. We might have to.
I
after
know,
that.
right? So even though I asked him to do a stock up, Philly transitioned us right into stock down.
If there's
So thanks for
anybody here that could evaluate stock up, stock down, it's the financial advisor, ladies and
So
gentlemen.
thank you for that. Let's go into stock down since you've smoothly brought us into that
transitions
area.
at 110
And again,
football.
if anybody over here has stock downs, you can come sit in my chair and do your stock down. Jessica, why don't you get us kicked off? You don't have to jump over. You could just come around. Jessica, kick us off while I get our next guest into place.
My stock down actually is Chicho Arango. I had big hopes for him today, and I thought he was anonymous. Like, I don't actually remember anything that he
Jess,
did.
who was your player to watch?
That's my question.
He was my player to watch.
All right, just wanted to make sure.
And that's why I was, at this point, it's like Brian Rodriguez comes right off the bench. You see the quality. You see him come out there and really change the game. Chicho Arango is somebody who was doing that for us last season. What happened?
Yeah.
What's happened to him? Like, why is he not influencing the game? It's shocking to me. So, yeah, it has to be Chicho Arango. Like, at some point, we need to get some goals from him because that's why he's here.
It's hard to argue with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, Chris, right here.
Chris is taking over.
All right.
First off,
So
if
Chris,
there's a stock up, it's his hat and his scarf, ladies and
All right,
gentlemen. Love
Chris,
the look.
who's your stock down, bud?
Well, first, my stock down is, Philly, instead of your cynical New Yorker hat, here, you get the Happy Cowboy LAFC hat. Here we go. Look,
I like cowboy
down,
hats.
My stock down is how we're going through the worst of it right now.
Nice and subtle.
But that just means that, look, we had the honeymoon period to start the season off. We looked really good. Everything was going our way. Now, in what's going to be the toughest period of the season, as we talked about ad nauseum, we're doing okay. We've had 2 tough matches.
That was Latin.
However, but we're going through the worst of it, and now we're figuring out what we need. And when we do come back, we are going to be even more dangerous than we looked in the beginning of the season. So just like Philly took his stock up and went down, I'm taking my stock down and going right back up.
All right,
We're coming back.
love it.
What I
love it.
love
Glass half
about
full.
your
That was
stock down, up, whatever roller coaster you just took us on, my
A happy
stock,
one. He gave me a cowboy hat.
my stock down is similar. It's the schedule. We just got through playing 4 games in 14 nights. We are playing 4 more games in 14 nights, while in June and July combined, we play just 7 matches. That's 8 in May, 7 in 2 months. So for everybody out there that is celebrating the demise of the black and gold after watching these 2 losses, my stock down is only to the impacted schedule and the fact that if you want to win the U.S. Open Cup, you have to go through a couple of extra matches in May to be at the pot of the gold at the end of the U.S. Open Cup later on.
Right. We're going to rest and recover in June, and we're coming back.
That's right.
All right, I guess I'll go. My stock down. I'm going to say something mildly sarcastic, but then I'm going to roll it around as something positive. If there's anybody who was a stock down, and we're only evaluating this game by game, we're not going over a long season run. If there's anybody who had a stock down game today, in my opinion, Kellen Acosta. I mean, his careless passing to Maxime Crepeau on that track back once again with a Rudy on him, that led to the first goal of the game. That really was the I don't want to say the straw that broke the camel's back, but it certainly put us off on a negative situation. He goes in, not careless passing, yellow cards. He did not have a good game. So for a player who really wants to make his impact on the U.S. men's national team, today was not that game. Looked lost in the position that he was in. We talked about his versatility. Kellen Acosta does not belong in that back line. He is a midfielder. But if we're going to talk about, a reversal, when we're going to talk about some positivity, we can be goldfish. We can utilize the Ted Lasso philosophy. While this was a rough loss, a tough pill to swallow, we do have Columbus on Saturday on the road, a game in which we very well could win. But more importantly than that, we have the opportunity to do something that we have never done in the history of our club, and that's go into Carson on Wednesday, U.S. Open Cup, and finally freaking win and beat the Galaxy at Dignity Health Sports Park. And if that can happen, none of this shit matters, ladies and gentlemen. None of it matters.
Can I just say one thing, just really, really quickly?
I
guys
just,
know
I just
how
wanted to say that I told Philly he was allowed to curse.
Yeah,
There
he
you
gave
go.
me
There was your
one.
There was your one. There was your one.
He
He gave
Go,
it one.
Jessica.
He got his one.
Philly, you're my favorite.
Oh, shucks.
But
But there's the but.
Oh, there's a but.
Am I talking to my wife now, Jessica? Jeez.
I get that.
Wait, Jess,
I get that
go
Kellen
on.
Acosta didn't have a great game, but he's playing out of position.
Yes.
Yes.
So, I mean, you don't have to go in on him too hard. I mean, this is somebody playing out of position.
Philly knows
and
one speed.
Emergency, emergency, right back. We were meant to have depth there.
Yes.
I mean, we got rid of another right back. We let him go, and now we're having a midfielder playing in there. So I'm just saying, maybe give him a little bit of leeway
That's
there,
fair. No, that's fair. You're absolutely right, but he did look a little lost out
He
there.
did look lost, but he's a midfielder playing at right back with a makeshift back line at that.
Yeah.
Not even
Oh,
our
yeah.
strongest.
Which goes to my stock up, the injury bug. The injury bug continues.
Okay, the injury bug. All right, the injury bug.
Can I step in
Hashtag the
here?
injury bug.
Now is officially where you guys sounded like a married couple. That was it, right there, right there.
We're still having fun. one
Okay,
way
we
or
went through all the stock downs.
like
I
it.
didn't do mine. Mine was the easy one, finishing. Stock down.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
No, we touched on it already.
Finish,
You're right.
finish your chances, and we're not having this conversation.
Wait,
we're
are
in a
you-
much
are you-
happier mood.
are you Connor Collapsus
I'm
all of a
embodying
sudden?
the young Connor Collapsus while he's not here.
I mean,
So
at
there
the
we
end of
go.
the day, you can get as excited if you want. If you can't finish in all aspects of life, what does it matter?
Whoa.
Take that as you will.
I said you could curse once. I didn't say anything about innuendo, and you went there.
Oh, I
We're
mean,
not going to
that's
say anything
your
about the
agenda.
referee.
Yeah, we are going to
We're not going to talk about the referees.
I mean, she wants to talk about the referee.
VAR, do you want to talk about VAR?
Yeah, the momentum killing 10 minutes set piece. What's
Yes.
They're playing the Troubadour tomorrow night. 10 minutes.
Our good friend over my shoulder has pointed out that VAR killed all momentum, and it did. It really should never, ever take that long to get through. It shouldn't even take that long for him to get over to VAR. Either go there or don't.
Right.
And then once you're there, it really should be, I want to say 2 minutes.
What do you
2
think
minutes
Max
tops.
Bredos was doing? He hates the fact that VAR is killing
I'll tell you what he was doing. He's tormenting
Dental,
Heath
maybe.
Pierce. Guaranteed. Heath is just like, can we get through this? Can we just get through this?
Or Heath Pierce.
Okay, let's move on to our shot on target. Do you guys remember what your pep talk to the team was?
Yeah.
Mine was staying connected. It did not happen. So I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but they didn't do it. So there you go.
Oh, mine was put the last loss behind you, and we just had it. Now we have another loss, so we need to put this one behind. So no, they didn't do what I said.
Philly,
why is your shoe in your hand?
Because I got to put my foot in my mouth because I thought we would really chop the head off of the broccoli today. It did not happen. So once again, you know how I alluded to the fact that betting on the Buffalo Bills as a kid, I failed often? I thought that we would really stick it to FC Broccoli.
Yeah.
I'm putting my foot in my mouth because I failed yet again on my bet.
Wait,
Maybe
you're
we
gonna
have to
really-
ban Buffalo Bills mentions on the show from now on.
The only New York football team, by the way.
Hey, I'll make it a clean sweep. All four of us were way off on today. I thought we'd get the bench mob back. We'd really start things going. What wound up happening is we gave up our second goal in the second half all season and just couldn't find that extra gear that we needed to pull out a point here at home. So we were all wrong.
We were all wrong. There was a lot wrong going on.
I took the under on yellow cards.
Yeah.
There were 8.
Okay,
We failed within the first 30
Eight.
minutes, Scarf.
yes, we did. We will leave you with this. This is our moment. That's something we're going to think more on, so you guys have something to think on before you meet us again on Monday for LAFC 360. This is Let Me Sleep on It. Philly, you're fired up, and I feel like you got something that you really want to think about before you go podcast with this man. What's going to be on your mind?
Can't wait.
You're really going to go to me after all the positive things that I've said. Well, again, all right. It kind of alludes back to what I said earlier on. Yeah, this was a tough pill to swallow. I really thought that we would come out there and really give the fans at Banc of California Stadium something to go into a Thirsty Thursday really happy about. It didn't happen. And you know what? Such is life. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. We go and we play Columbus on the road. I'm thinking that's going to be an easy win because the Crew don't necessarily have a great team. But more importantly than that, I'm going to sleep on the fact that, well, this is the calm before the storm. Let's get all this negativity and this nonsense out of our system right now because ahead of ourselves, we've got a lot of big games. And right now, again, we have the opportunity to make history. This is a team that breaks hearts and sets trends. And if they're going to break somebody's flipping heart, it's going to be the Galaxy next week. And again, if we win, we finally beat the Galaxy on the road. This game will only be a practice session and something that we won't have to worry too much about. So I'll sleep on the fact that we lost to a good team, but we have a couple of games in front of us that are important. And if we win next Wednesday, so be it. I'll take this loss if we could beat the Galaxy on the road. Thank you.
Man of the people. Man of the people.
I'm going to take the opposite stance, and I'm ready.
What, the opposite stance from Philly?
Chat, Twitter, come at me.
Should I get out of the frame?
Yeah, here we go.
What are you going
I need to sleep on, is LAFC really the class of the West that we think they are? Here's why I say it. We played Carson. We've played Austin, the two best teams we've played in the West so far. We have not done well. We played the best team in the East.
Not just not done well,
lost both games. We played the best team in the East at the time. We were not able to beat them. I have said from minute one that we are the deepest team. We are the class of Major League Soccer, the class of the West for sure. But after these matches, all I'm saying is that I need to sleep on, are we heads and shoulders above all the other teams in Major League Soccer, or are we just going to win the whole thing and be a team that wins the championship?
Strong. Okay.
all I'm
I like
saying.
that. Yep. Lot to think about there. Jessica?
Yeah, so what I want to sleep on is, what is the actual best front three? I still don't think it's clear. It hasn't been clear to me since the beginning of the season. We've been kind of looking at it and trying to figure out this puzzle, and I just don't know what it is. I think it consists of Carlos Vela and Brian Rodriguez when they're both fit. But that third position for me is up for grabs. I don't think it's obvious that it's Chicho Arango. I don't know if it's Mahala because he doesn't have the end product. Maybe it's Tajuri Shroudy. I don't know. It didn't look like it was Masovsky either. So for me, we have to figure that out because we need to score goals. And right now it looks very questionable up top.
We did almost see a moose on a bicycle earlier on in the game.
We didn't almost see. We didn't almost see. It wasn't almost.
Shut him down real quick.
The bickering couple once again.
The image of a moose on a bicycle at the very least makes me smile.
Can I ask a quick question regarding that front line? Is it that we're missing someone in the middle to facilitate Carlos and Brian, or where is that we're missing that third piece? Because I agree.
I'm actually going to go, because mine, let me sleep on, is similar to Jess's, the movement of the front three. It seems like all they have is that double move where they come forward and then go deep and they play over the top. That's very Liverpool-esque, which fits kind of into the philosophy, but when it's not working, it's really not working. And then the midfielders don't have any out balls. They don't have any safety valves. So I want what I think, not just is the how you constitute the front three, but kind of to your point too, is what positions are they playing? What roles are they playing?
Yeah.
Is someone a focal point? Is someone a false nine? Is someone supposed to stay wide? Who's coming to feet? Are we all just trying to run behind the defense? It seems like that's the one plan, and it's not working. You need to vary it up a little bit more.
You know what I thought about today as well as and this might go to maybe a potential DP, signing, is that we don't have anybody that can run in behind. We actually don't have anybody that can stretch the defense. Mahala comes short, Brian comes short, Carlos comes way deep, Chicho kind of comes short as well.
Bella's the only one getting behind the defense.
Yeah, we need somebody that can pull defenses out and make them be like, okay, either we need to drop deeper because we don't want you running in behind, or we're going to pull up and then give us the space in behind. But right now we don't have that threat, and maybe that's something we need to look for because right now it's a little one-dimensional. It's a little predictable.
I'm sorry. Thickety Wickets in the chat says, think Ted Lasso. We need some of those trick plays. There's nothing more I want to see than one of those trick plays.
What we need is Roy's kid in the locker room firing these boys up. We're going to talk Ted Lasso.
Well, that's going to do it for us. We've covered a lot here, and we've had a great crowd. You guys have been great behind us.
Look at this crowd behind us.
All right,
Let's go.
Hold up your Vela jersey. Thank you so much. You guys have been awesome.
Hold on a second. If y'all love LAFC, let the people at 110 hear you. Do you all love LAFC? That's what I'm talking about. That's a lively crowd.
All right, and with that cheer, that'll take us to our schedule for the rest of the week. So we've just wrapped up this game. Saturday, we're back on this channel, the 110 Football Watch Party. We're going to be watching along. LAFC's in Columbus. That's at 12:40 p.m. on Saturday. And then Monday, as I said, it's the LAFC 360 show where we'll wrap up more about this game, more about Columbus. That's at 1 p.m. That's a live show for the chat. So everyone in the chat, so all you people that were here in person, get in the chat on Monday. And then that's followed by Angels Wear Boots, which is our Angels City show. That's at 4 p.m. So Monday is a big day for deeper dives into our Los Angeles teams. So please join us there. And that's it. Not the result we wanted, but you guys were the crowd we wanted. So we enjoyed having you guys.
Thank you,
we
guys.
will see you guys next time. Next time we're at the bank, but before then we'll see you guys on YouTube. So join us on YouTube, 110 Football YouTube.
That's right.
That's it for us. Thank you to everyone. Jessica, Philly.
All right, crowd, get excited one more time.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Cheer.
Let's hear you scream! FC!